do some cool stuff. As soon as I can get to the living room and out of my bedroom. I need a few things. Yeah, this being one of them. Okay. We should have everything we need to go and do this live. You guys bear with me. Bear with me. I should have got ready, but I'm hoping to get some people on here before I actually start what I'm doing. So that way I don't have to keep explaining it over and over and over. I mean, I really don't mind, but we got some cool stuff today, guys. Let's see. Can you guys read it that way? Yeah. That's pretty cool, right? We will be setting that off to the side. We'll talk about that later. We're also doing a giveaway probably every 30 minutes. As soon as I can get started tying jigs. But right now I got to get everything set up because I forgot that I hadn't set everything up before I went live. Hopefully this just wasn't bad timing, I guess. But I'm going to put you guys, I got to plug in a charger. Shouldn't be an issue. Whoa. Okay, dropping the charger. Then we got to plug in a light as well. But I got to find a USB. What's up? You guys, you're just gonna have to chill. We're gonna be doing a giveaway. I'm gonna be tying jigs and some rigs. But just bear with me for a minute. I've got that's on the vise, perfect. I'm gonna drop this line down, plug it in. Then I've got to do my my light for the camera as well. Hey, everybody joining in. We're doing a giveaway every 30 minutes. I'll tell you guys how it's going to work because it's been a while since we've done a giveaway. It's going to be real simple. Simple style of giveaway. Let's see if I can work this light now. Yeah, there we go. Do you guys like that light on behind me or no? Everybody stopping in. We're doing a giveaway every 30 minutes. I'm going to be tying some hand-tied jigs. And we're going to be doing some catfish rigs. And I'll tell you how to... I'll go over everything in a minute. Let me get my chair set up. Then I think we're ready to go. I think. Get this cord out of the way. I just want to clean up and tidy up a little bit while we get some people in here. What's up, Kicking Deer? Hey, check this out. Wait, that's backwards for the camera. There you go. I think that's good for you guys. I think that's how you'd read it. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to get some more of these made up for like license plate on the front of a car. I think that'd be pretty slick. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to set that off to the side. You guys hang on. I'm going to grab a chair real quick. And we'll talk fishing while we tie jigs. Hold on. Let me grab a pair of pliers. All right, I'm back. No, I'm going to hang that one on the wall. I'm going to get some made for the license plate tags. Hey, Kicking Deer. What's up, Charles Sykes? Is that light behind you guys bad or good? I'll show you what it looks like without that light. that's what it looks like without it. I can aim the phone down or whatever we need to do for the jigs. Let me just get out the feathers I want to color. Here's the deal, guys. We've got new stuff. We're not even giving away jigs we've ever gave away on the channel. We got a new style of jig heads that we've never... I mean, I've obviously tied jigs with them. They're a 1/16 ounce, and I got orange jig heads, some white jig heads. Let's see what we got. I got this, this is called New Age Bleeding Shad chenille, so I'm excited about this one. All right, kicking deer. What do you call the clairvoyant midget who's escaped the prison? A small, medium, at large. That's funny. Yeah, we got all kinds of new jig heads, so we got quite a bit of stuff to tie up. I'm really excited about this one. This is like a bumblebee color, black and yellow. And this is New Age Monkey Milk. I'm pretty stoked about it too. I want to start with the New Age Monkey Milk. And we'll just get into it, I guess, as soon as I find my other pack of jig heads. We also were at the point on YouTube to where I'm about to be able to open up a store. And if you know those catfish rigs that they sell for $40 for a pack of 5 catfish rigs, I'm gonna have some catfish rigs for sale. For just a regular guy, I've got to order some bags. And we'll talk about that real quick before we get started tying jigs. The jigs are they tie up easy. But I'm gonna do something differently than most of the other guys do that tie up catfish rigs. You'll be able to order circle hooks if you want them, but I only like one style of circle hook, and that's a Gamakatsu offset circle hook. And I already tied up a bunch of these and stuck them in this box. Anyway, I'm gonna be selling catfish rigs on my YouTube page here pretty shortly. They'll have a J hook, either this size. I don't have the other size here, but I got a big hook or this small hook. And they're gonna be the same, whether you want the big pack or the small pack. The only way that the price goes up is if you want the peg float for the Santee Cooper rig already on there. Then the price will go up because the size of the packages get bigger and it gets more, it increases the headache of making them. You should make like a white fly with chartreuse string in it. We're gonna do something similar to that, but this is my catfish rig. It's gonna have 2.5 foot of leader line, a barrel swivel, and a hook already snelled. And I'm gonna be selling packs of 5 for $7. That's not shipping included, so I imagine it'll end up being 5 of them for around probably $8 or $9 because it's not that expensive to ship 5 of these. And I'm gonna have each one of these in an individual bag, all inside of one bag. And so it may end up being like $8.50 will probably be the maximum amount that it'll cost for a pack of 5 of these pre-snelled. Pull them out of the package, tie them on your fishing rod, or put a sinker on, and then tie this on. Catfish rig's done. That's it. Go fishing. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think that's going to be a pretty good deal. But let's find these other pack of jig heads so we can get started. We got the jig heads. Anyone that's just now tuning in, we're about to start tying stuff up. We're doing a giveaway every 30 minutes, and I need to hurry up and get on it because I'm going to give away 5 of these jigs every 30 minutes. And I'll tell you how it's all going to work here in just a second. I've got to get a little bit more stuff lined out. I haven't even opened up this pack of hooks yet. I am pretty excited, guys. So these come with a little bait keeper on them. And this for me is probably cheaper than making my own jig hooks. And so I just take this, snip off that little keeper. We're gonna throw that in the vise. Just like so. Throw that down there out of the way. We got our new chenille, put it over here. Got to adjust just a few more things, guys, to have it set up optimally. I believe I have I'm looking for something for you guys. It's pretty important that I find it. Well, it's going pretty good. Release to the grease. We're about to tie these jigs and then do a giveaway with them. We're going to do a giveaway every 30 minutes, and I still haven't got started tying jigs. But I'm still trying to get everything lined out. It's been a while since I tied jigs, so it has been a little bit. I think one of my daughters carried away my fly tying whip, but it's not that big of a deal. I don't really need it to tie flies or tie jigs. But what I do need is to figure out what feathers I'm going to use. And so the first ones we're tying are monkey milk, and so I want to stick with the theme. And so I want to go a little bit blue and a little bit white. So we're going to put all these other feathers over here. We're going to pull out some blue feathers, some white feathers, and we're going to get right into it, guys. Okay, so the giveaway, I'm glad you asked. You'll have to email me if you win, but the way we're going to do it is I need to find an ink pen real quick, and I write down a number. So there's 7 people watching right now, so obviously I can't write down the number yet. But I would write down, say there's 24 people watching, I'd write down a number between 1 and 24, and then I would tell you guys to only guess one time, comment one number, and then I show you guys the piece of paper, and then whoever got the winning number wins. And then you email me your address, and then I will mail them right out to you. And that's the safest way I can do it without just broadcasting my phone number, and I already get enough scam phone calls as it is. But yeah, let's jump into this and tie one up real quick and see how it looks, see if we need to change anything, because I've never tied this pattern. I've never tied with this chenille. That chenille looks really good. I like it a lot. So we're going to go right in with a hint of blue for our base coat. Yeah, we're going to like this one a lot, guys. I do believe. The next jigs, we're going to tie, obviously I got to tie 5 of these for the giveaway. But then I want to tie a couple for myself to test out as well, because I've never tied these and I've never used them. And then we're going to go in with a pretty thick coat of white. That blue's just like an undertone. Could have got some better feathers probably, but these will do. They got grass in them or something. Anyway, looks like they found these feathers laying in the yard or something. So I just clip that top off. I've watched some different fly tying videos and jig tying videos, and I like this method a lot. You just snip out in little sections. I forget what they call the center of the feather, the vein. You just snip that vein into sections and it makes your feather more manageable. And we're gonna tie it in 2 sections. We're gonna tie one on the left side and one on the right side. So we get a good even coverage from that. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty sick. We'll get a good even coverage of those feathers. So I'm pretty excited. No, I don't ever do commercial fishing. Can you win multiple times? Yeah, we're gonna do a giveaway every 30 minutes. And it's looking like, with the amount of viewers we got in here, it's looking like a release to the grease. I appreciate it. I really do. With only 5 people in here though, and that first 30-minute mark coming up, it's looking like you guys stand a real chance of winning. Clearly, you got a better odds that way. I'm really close to getting my watch hours, and so I'm pretty excited about that. And I'll be able to start a store on here and sell my own catfish rigs and my own crappie jigs. And you guys will be able to give me ideas along the way for what kind of crappie jigs you want and so on and so forth. So that should be exciting too. And this is a 1/16 size jig head. Yep, I can't wait to use one of these. I was just catching crappie the other day. I got a little video. I was catching bait-sized crappie because I was bait fishing. And because that's what was under the bridge. Honestly, if we'd have caught a mess of keepers, we'd have ate them, but I was using monkey milk. No, I don't know milkfish. Not to be mean, you kind of look like Hugh Jackman, aka Wolverine. Well, that's all right. That's all right. And the person, let me see what you said there. Trying to look at comments and tie this off at the same time. That ain't a good idea. Texas Red, I appreciate the comment. Now, due to having lost my fly tying whip, I don't know if I lost it or one of my daughters picked it up and moved it, which is what I'm leaning to because I haven't lost anything else off my fly tying table. And my youngest, she, I could see her doing that. Not even thinking about it. Just grab it, walk away, and put it down somewhere, and that's okay, though. I found a piece of stainless steel wire, and I made a fly tying whip. We'll make it work. Yes, I'm making fish bait. If you guys haven't already, please consider subscribing also. I'd really appreciate it. So that's that first jig, and that's our monkey milk copycat. I think it looks pretty good. So that's jig 1 for the giveaway. Let's get the next one tied because we're running out of. We got 10 minutes to get 5 of them tied. If we don't get 10 of them tied by the 30-minute mark, or 5 of them tied, we'll go ahead and do the drawing, and then I'll just finish tying them, and then we'll put them in envelopes. That way they can be ready to be mailed out. And I'll put them in the mail tonight. And so it'll be, depending on where you're at in the U.S. or whatever, in the U.S. You have to be in the U.S. too. You just watch the live, and then whenever we get to 30 minutes, say there's 20 people watching Texas Red, what I'll do is I'm gonna write down a number on a piece of paper where you guys can't see it, and then I'll be like, you 1 through 24, guess one number. You comment one number one time in the comments, and whoever guesses the number that I wrote down wins the drawing. And then I'll give you guys my email, and I'll give you guys plenty of time to write it down, and I'll spell it out and stuff. And then you email me your address, and then I will get them mailed out to you tonight. So for everyone that's missed out, we're doing a monkey milk imitation. We're doing a undertone of blue, and then we're doing a layer of white on either side. So that way the blue is like an undertone. And we're using these jig heads that are 1/16, and they have gold eyes with a big pupil, and I think that they are money. They're sickle hooks. Again, the weight's 1/16, so they're pretty nice. We're gonna call this hairy thing Monkey Milk Copycat, or we'll just call it Copycat. But it's not plastic, so it's not really copycat. It's just a copycat of the colors. And we can't really use a copyrighted name or somebody else's name, so we'll just call it the Copycat. Menace error. I'm really close. I have I forget how many watch hours. I think I have 45 watch hours left or something like that until I can get turn on super chats and stuff like that. But that will be a thing in the future. But I'm a multi-species angler. I plan on opening a store too. I'm gonna have these catfish rigs on there. I'm gonna have affordable catfish rigs, not the ones that cost you $40 for 5 rigs. They're gonna be the ones that cost you $8 to $8.50 for 5 rigs. What colors attract fish? It varies from water type to water type. The water clarity plays a big role in it. Generally, the further you can see, no, Rose. Hang on, guys. I got a cat over here trying to take my chenille. No. Don't do that. It's like yarn, so of course she'd want to take it. I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, the water clarity. If it's brown and muddy, I usually like orange, black and chartreuse, brown, purple, dark purple. So you try to use lures. Dalton Odom, what's up? No, I'm not in North Carolina. I'm in Oklahoma. They'd be to you pretty quick, Texas Red. If you're in Texas, they'd be to you pretty quick. I got videos from North Carolina. North Carolina's pretty cool. This is our Copycat. All right, we got 2 down, 3 to go. We're not making too bad a time, I don't guess. Yeah, North Carolina is a beautiful state. I wish I'd have took more video in when I went to Costa Rica. You're in Georgia. How's the fishing in Georgia? Is it warming up there? Pretty nice. I don't know where you guys fall on the from the equator line, like as far as where Oklahoma is. We're gonna do an undertone of blue. Trim that up a little bit. Those two feathers are kind of small. In Augusta, you live by the ocean? Heck yeah. Release to the grease? Heck yeah. Yep, we've been having those 70s and 80s here in Oklahoma too. It's been pretty nice. A lot of rain. We're supposed to get more coming up this next week. It's supposed to rain all week, but I like fishing in the rain, if I'm being honest. I like it a lot. I've caught some of my best fish in the craziest weather. And you wouldn't think nobody'd be fishing. I can't wait to get to try some of these jigs out myself. Let me go grab a ink pen real quick so that way I can write down a number. And so that way we can get the drawing, because it's about to be at the 30-minute mark, so we got to do the first giveaway. And I don't have an ink pen handy. All right, I've got an ink pen handy. And the email is thatdamnfishingguy247@gmail.com. Let's see what I got over here. That will be the email that you'll want to email me at. thatdamnfishingguy247@gmail.com. All right, and when we get to the 30-minute mark, which we're almost there, there's 18 of you in here. Okay, I'm writing down a number, one between 1 and 25. Now everybody guess, comment one number one time between 1 and 25 for your chance to win 5 of these copycat jigs. Also, please go ahead and like the live, and if you haven't already, subscribe if you don't mind. If it's correct to pin it, that's a good idea. I'm gonna tie this one off because there's 13 people in here, and we've only had 4 people guess. But everybody needs to hurry up with their guess, or we're gonna have to move on. So we'll have to go to the closest person that came to it, and I'll show you guys what it was. So yeah, I'm gonna have to buy a new fly tying whip. They're pretty cheap, and I really need it. This stainless steel wire's getting us by though. It ain't too bad. It ain't horrible. It ain't, you know. All right, guys. It's 3:43. We'll just go when it's 32. We're gonna start there, stop there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and announce the winner, and I'll show you guys the number. All right, the number was 12, which is backwards on there. It's 12. And so let me go back up here and see. The winner is Charles Sykes. If I'm missing something, someone let me know, but I don't think so. Charles Sykes, you won, and I need you to send me your address at thatdamnfishingguy247@gmail.com, and then I'll get these jigs out in the mail to you. You'll be getting 5 1/16 copycat jigs. Oh yeah. Well, I have to do that because we're already started on the next 30-minute giveaway, and so we're behind 2 jigs, and so I'm trying to play catch up. So we kind of gotta push it like that. But that's a nice point. I didn't think about that. I did not think about that. But we're gonna tie up probably 7 of these. That way I'll have 2 for myself, and then we'll move on to another pattern. We're gonna tie a pattern that I've caught a lot of white bass on. I don't know if you guys are into white bass fishing, but I don't even like eating them, but I like using them for bait, and I like catching them. They're a lot of fun. Which this bait will work perfectly fine for white bass, but there's a color that I'm kind of partial to. That Damn Fishing Guy. DAMFISHINGGUY 247@gmail.com. I would write it down, but it's going to be backwards for you guys. I had it wrote down once before, but I don't know where the piece of paper was. I don't know where it went. Don't know where it went. Release to the grease. Do you make a lot of thank you, Dalton, I appreciate it. No, I think it's just like Dalton did it, but I don't think it matters on emails. I'm not 100% sure though. But it's just like Dalton did it, because I'm not very punctual, or however you put it. So I would have done it just like that. The first letter would have been a capital and all the rest of them would have been lowercase. Drives my wife batshit crazy when I do stuff like that. Like I'll type her like a paragraph and I'll be running on and all my sentences will be running together because I don't use punctuation. Drives her crazy. Okay. Pin message. Can you guys see that it's pinned now? I don't know if I pinned the right one. My fingers are so damn big. Okay, yeah, I pinned. Yes, replace pinned message. Okay, now it's pinned. Released to the grease. Thank you. I appreciate it because I have no idea. I didn't think it was, but I didn't really know either, so I didn't want to be giving out bad information. Released to the grease. It seems like I've seen. Do you post a lot on Facebook? Because I've seen that name. It seems like I've seen your maybe a post or something. And so I caught a lot of white bass on something that I call the Crush 'em series. It's a style of jig that I tie, and it's got I like these jigs with an undertone, like how I'm putting the blue under here. And my Crush 'em series jig all has a black undertone. Most of the creeks in Oklahoma at this time of the year are all muddy. But creek fishing and river fishing is my favorite kind of fishing to do. And so I really like black and orange a lot. And so the next jigs that we're going to be giving away are the black and orange with the orange jig head, 1/16 ounce. And this is my first time of tying this style of jig head. And so I'm curious to see how well they hold up, and I'm curious about them. Haven't ever fished them or nothing, so we're in this together, guys. We're in it together. We'll probably just stay a little bit behind on the jigs because we're just now finishing up the last winter's. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to tie up my own jigs right now. So that way we can kind of keep up because we still have one more of these to tie for the last winter. Charles Sykes. And yeah, so that way we can just kind of semi keep up. Okay, I'll check you out whenever I get off here. Whenever I get off the live. Let's see, 3, 4. Yeah, that's 4, and we need another one. We got 3 different kinds of chenille, so we'll tie 3 different kinds of jigs, and we'll see what they come out like. So far, I'm loving this first one. They look pretty good. It's really hard for me to come up with patterns. It's really hard for me to come up with good patterns because I overthink them. I really like this pattern. If I could get that feathers to lay down. It's been just sitting up here on this desk getting crushed. But if you can see, it's got a yellow belly and a blue body and a yellow tail. But that's a really, really light jig, guys. Most people probably wouldn't appreciate me mailing them a jig that weighs an 80th of an ounce. It seems like most crappie fishermen and white bass fishermen prefer 1/16. All right, Charles Sykes, I appreciate it. We'll do that. Everybody, you got 2 minutes. Guess the number between. Hang on, let me write it down first. Between 1 and 13. You have 2 minutes to guess your guess, and then whoever gets it wins. Your dad makes lures. That's freaking awesome. That is awesome. I enjoy it. It's really cool because you can come up with custom stuff that nobody else has, or the fish ain't never seen it before. So it's pretty cool, actually. That feather's doo-doo. There's a good one. That's a nice one. We're gonna tie some nice jigs out of that one. All right, we're counting down on that last minute. All right, guys, and the number was 7. So Carson, you won. Dalton Odom has my email pinned. Dalton, for you moderating for me, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to tie up one of every kind of jig that we're doing the giveaway with, and so you're going to get some jigs anyway. And we're going to tie up 3 different kinds of jigs, so I think that's fair because you do all the computer work, so. All right, let's tie that one off, and that'll be all of those for now. We're going to get on to the next batch. That's what we got right there. All right, now we're gonna switch to the orange. Let me put away these blue and white feathers real quick. Yeah, we just need orange and black for now. Orange and black. Yeah, orange and black. I really want to tie something with this, but we're gonna tie something that I've been wiping out the sand bass with, so that way I feel like that's something appropriate to do in a giveaway right now, because probably all around the country you can go and catch sand bass right now. So I feel like that's only appropriate to do. Shoot, we already got these ones ready to go? We do. So we're switching to this orange jig head. And we're gonna tie a black undercoat with a orange top coat. As soon as I can find the black feathers. Found blue. There they are. All right, we got the black ones. Put up this stuff. I got all this stuff in a shoebox, so sometimes I gotta kind of dig through it. Trying to look in there and see if my fly tying whip is actually in there, because I just found some other stuff in there, knife sharpener and some other stuff. So I was hoping I'd get lucky and find my fly tying whip, but I'm not so fortunate. Anyhow, off to the races. That's a really nice feather right there. We're just gonna go ahead and cut 5 of these, so that way we already have them cut. All right, there we go. Yeah, let's get it started. It takes me a minute to get going on this stuff. Switching from one style to the next. So how many people in here use circle hooks when they catfish? Or actually, how many of you don't care what kind of hook it is, as long as it's just a decent catfish hook? That's what I want to know. So if you watch any of my videos, I use I've been trying to show people that you don't have to use circle hooks to catch catfish. And in fact, I won't say that J hooks work better, but I'm just going to say that I think they work a little bit better. You like circle hooks? You ever use the Gamakatsu octopus circle hooks, the offset ones? If I had to use a circle hook for the rest of my life, that'd be the one I wanted to use. It's the one I had the most luck with. I also had some pretty good luck with the Whisker Seekers circle hook, but Gamakatsu is probably would be my go-to. I do a lot of bass fishing and shark fishing. Yeah, I'd like to get into some shark fishing. That'd be pretty cool. I went tuna fishing this year. It was pretty cool. Went fishing for sailfish. That was pretty cool. Yeah, we caught all kinds of cool stuff, but I'd really like to go catch some sharks. Like some big sharks. Yeah, they obviously that both hook styles work because people are constantly catching fish on both of them. But something about a J hook for a flathead for me is really, and for the blue cat too, but I kind of got a little saying, and that's kind of like, you know, if it's not in your if it wasn't in your grandpa's tackle box, then you probably, for the most part, probably really don't need it. And the reason I say that is because 9 million fish were caught on, more than 9 million fish. Every fish was caught on a J hook. And the reason that I can't commit to the circle hook is because if they're so good, then why haven't they started making crappie jigs? Like these jigs have circle hooks on your crappie jigs. You don't see spinner baits with circle hooks on them, or rattle traps or crankbaits. They're all still a J style hook. The concept of a circle hook is great, that if a fish swallows it, that it could come back up his gullet and not gut hook him. And that's a great concept, but I have personally caught flatheads on we're coming up on that other mark. Here we go. So this is a crush 'em style jig, and this is the first time I've tied it with this jig head. I usually just tie them with a regular orange jig head. And so that was the first time I've tied it with that, and we're coming up on that second giveaway. Yeah, that is a problem with the circle hooks, is that people try to jerk on them. My issue with them is just, if you go watch my video, I have a video, I don't remember what it's titled, something like "Come Run a Trot Line with Me" or something, or "Let's Go Run a Trot Line Together" or something like that. And I grew up doing that kind of stuff, and it's fun to set trot lines with the kids. But every hook on that trot line is a J hook, and every catfish caught on that trot line was caught in the corner of the mouth. And there was nobody there to set the hook. And so that's why I'm so strong-willed towards using J hooks myself. I'm gonna make catfish rigs that are circle hook for people that are diehard circle hook fans, because I get it. Same way I'm a diehard for, you know, that'd be like, I don't know, 2 opposing football teams. You're never going to get everybody to agree to one side or the other, because that's what we have a right. We have a right to be different and have differences. What's up, Predator Fishing? We actually got to get this tied up pretty quick. We got a... We're coming up on that 30-minute mark, and we're only 3 jigs in. That's all right, though. Like I said earlier, you know, trying to answer comments and talk to everybody and be responsive, we're probably going to stay a couple jigs behind on the schedule, so that's fine. And it's been a while since I tied jigs, so especially like this. Usually I just tie like 3 or 4 or 5 and then go fishing. and my fly tying whip is gone. I'm using a piece of 332 stainless TIG wire. This is 309 wire. But it's getting the job done. I need a little bit more of a bend in it. But this wire is really hard to bend, so I think that's going to be a little bit better. Yep, we're going to run that. I think that was the bend I needed. I literally just looked up a freaking fly tying whip, and then while I was at work, and just went and found a piece of wire and bent it up into a fly tying whip because we needed one. You guys remind me when we're getting close to the time because I might not pay attention. This year's been crazy with the gar for me. How about you guys? Usually I don't get 2 gar on my boat this early in the year, let alone within the same month. And this year it's happened. How was everybody's day at work today? Or school, whichever one. In the future, we'll try to be more prepared, and I'll already have all the feathers cut and stuff. I just need to get some little containers so that way I can put them in there, because if one of the kids comes up here and walks through the door right now and they open the door, all my feathers are going to go flying everywhere. So I need to cut a bunch of these and get them already in the containers so that way I can just tie jigs. I literally just walked through the door, got home from work, and we started this, so very unprepared today. Dang. I don't remember what day it was. The day before yesterday? I think it was the day before yesterday. Tuesday, or might have been Monday even. I don't remember. I got off work, came home, had to go to... I had ordered a shower valve replacement kit off of Amazon. And I don't know why. I thought they would be universal because nothing's ever that simple. And anyway, I'd ordered them, and I accidentally ordered 2 of them, so there went $100, which my daughter's supposed to be taking to the UPS store to mail them back to Amazon, so we can get the refund for that. But they were the wrong valves, so then I had to run to Lowe's. Well, then I get to Lowe's, and I ask for help, and they just show me the aisle that they're in, but don't really help me to find the valves. And so I thought that was kind of crappy customer service, but you know, whatever. I got them replaced. Oh, guys, let me write down a number. All right, you got 2 minutes, or yeah, 2 minutes to guess a number between 1 and 16 to decide who wins these jigs that we're tying right now. And these are my, I call them my Crush 'em series jigs, and I crush them on them, so they're pretty good. What's up, Tennessee boy? All right, everybody can quit guessing. Tennessee boy. I'm not gonna pin it because it'll replace my other pin. But I wrote 9 right there, and it looks like a P on the camera, but it's a 9. So you won, Tennessee boy. Dalton has my email pinned at the bottom. Email me your address, and I'll mail you out 5 of these 1/16 ounce Crush 'em series jigs. We're gonna finish tying up those 2, and then we've got a couple other kinds of chenille that I want to tie up some more jigs with. So we'll just keep moving. I want to tie up some of these with this black and yellow. I'm really excited about that. I wish they had a orange and black like that. That would be that'd be sweet. That would be sweet. Orange is like my favorite go-to white bass and crappie fishing color for the reservoirs and the rivers and the creeks that I fish around here. How many more do we got? 2 more? Yeah, let's get into it. Everybody, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm really close on my watch hours, and I'm getting pretty excited. I was gonna do I'm gonna do a video. They have some fishing rods at Walmart right now, and I know that fishing rods at Walmart suck or whatever, but they're like that Shakespeare Tiger rod or something like that. They come out with a new version of it every couple of years, and it comes with the reel and 15-pound test line, which we're going to automatically upgrade to 20-pound test line. But I want to show people that you don't have to have a bunch of money. Like for $100, I can go get 3 of those rods and all the tackle I need, minus the shad, and go catch catfish. And so we're gonna do that and make do a catfishing video with a budget combo. We're gonna buy 3 of them, because realistically, if you were going fishing for a catfish dinner, you'd probably want at the minimum of 2 fishing rods, and 3 just sounds better, and they're only $25 a piece. So, and really, you could fish with the line that comes on them if you're fishing with night crawlers, but I'm going to be using shad, so I'm going to up the line to 20-pound test, just because I feel more comfortable if I hook into something bigger than I should on that rod and reel. I want to have a chance at landing it. But if you were going to fish with chicken livers or night crawlers or small shad in most reservoirs on a flat or in a small creek, you'd probably be just fine. And you could go and get you some dinner. have a good time. Tennessee boy, you can't find what? Oh yeah? Do you like it, Dalton? My sister, I borrowed hers a couple times when I went to her house, and her house is a long ways from my house, and I decided that I want to go fishing, and I'd end up borrowing hers, and I never actually have anything bad to say about them. They functioned, and they did everything that you would expect from a catfish rod that was $25, and they actually feel pretty nice. Like the action of them, they actually feel nice to me anyhow. The new ones at Walmart, they feel even better than the past ones. And so I'm kind of actually excited to use them. Yeah, it seems good enough to me. And like I said, that new one, I believe it's a two-piece. It's a two-piece rod, but man, it feels nice. It feels like it's going to be really durable too, so. And then what I'm going to do with them after I go fishing is we're going to take those fishing rods and we're going to go to the lake. I'm going to make my video with them, maybe make a couple videos with them. And then we're going to go to my local city lake, and we're actually just going to give those rods away to some kids or some, sometimes there's like some veterans and stuff that fish at the local city lake that I fish at. And I know they're like on fixed incomes and stuff. And I know that they wouldn't mind if someone came and gave them a fishing rod for nothing, and they would enjoy it and use the heck out of it. So yeah, so we got that. There'll be I don't know, I can't forecast who will be at the dock. So I don't know if I'm going to give them all the kids or if there's going to be some old veterans or some retired people at the dock, or exactly how it's going to go down. But I'm for sure going to I'm actually going to buy 4 of them because I want to give 4 of them away, and that'll be a flat $100. But I'm only going to do 3 for the video so I can show you $100. You can get 3 rods, the tackle, and everything you need for $100 to go catch catfish. But you could even do it cheaper. But I feel like 3 rods is a good. Like, that's what I would do if I was just getting into catfishing. I would go buy those rods. I'd go buy 3 of them. And then as I could, the first thing I would do is upgrade the reels because the rods feel great. The handle on the rod feels a little chintzy. And I don't know if Quantum Optics still makes a reel, but I know that from 7 years ago until now, that there's 100 people below the dam snagging catfish with a $27 Quantum Optics reel. And yeah, it's only $27 reel. Yeah, Gmail. You just email me your address, and then of course I'll reply back to it to let you know I got it. And then I will mail these jigs out to you. Yeah, we're on our last one of these, and then we're moving on, guys. Last one of these. And luckily, I already tied up a few of these for myself of this Crush 'em series. Like I said, that's my favorite color to fish with. And so as soon as I got these hooks through the door, the first thing I did was tied up, I believe 3 of them. 3's all I need to go test them out. That's plenty for me to go test them out. That sand bass video I made, I think I used 3 jigs in that video. I lost 2. But literally I Yeah, I don't need very many jigs to go out and have a good time fishing. Unless we're fishing brush piles. But literally that creek that I was catching sand bass in, I was singling out sticks. Singling out sticks, guys. All right. There we go. Number. I'm confused. I can't find it, but I'll give you my phone number. Let me get something handy. Then you're going to have to hurry up and delete it because you don't want a bunch of spammers. Shoot. Okay. It's at the very bottom. Let's go on to this next style of jig. It's going to have a different style of jig head for the next giveaway. These are also, which if you guys have watched my videos, you guys will recognize these because I love these. I saw it and can't find it. I'm not understanding. You go on the email and email me a message. I don't understand what you mean you can't find it. Is what where I'm getting lost at. These are 1/16 ounce and they're got a gold head, no eyes. But man, these right here are just money. They are money. I need to put up this other chenille real quick before the cat gets into it. I gotta put up these orange feathers. I had some little bags and I don't know what to do with them. There they are. Yeah, I want to put this chenille back in the bag before the cat finds it. For this one, we're going to use... We're going to do this New Age Bleeding Shad chenille. Yeah, Gmail. That damn fishing guy 247 at gmail.com. Let's get into this. We're gonna go. We're gonna do a red undercoat, and then white for the main body, and then the New Age chenille. Pluck out a few of these red feathers and a bag of the white feathers. That feather looks like crap, so we're gonna throw it away. That's a nice feather. That's a nice feather. Really, when you're buying these feathers, they're so cheap that it's so cheap to buy them that I can't really complain about getting a bad feather here and there, and you can make so many jigs out of a bag of feathers that it's unreal. That being said, you will run out of your favorite colors when you least expect it. Unless you're just tying jigs every day, all day long. All right, we're trying to get to the 90-minute mark? Yes. Oh, what up, Crappie Man Jigs? I don't know what we're going to call this one. Don't really have a name for it. Don't really have a name for it. Not much. This one, I haven't really used it that much. This pattern, I haven't used it. I haven't used this chenille at all for fishing, but I used to tie a pattern similar to this, but with the 1/64 ounce jig head, and I fish it in the creeks to catch my catfish bait, and it was a freaking, you could just, one bluegill after another, largemouth bass, good sized largemouth bass out of some of them creeks that I fish in. You'd be crazy. Think it's crazy what a 2-pound largemouth bass will eat a little bitty jig. Then on the 4-pound test, the fight is on. You get it figured out, Tennessee boy? I might have to go put this one to work in the creek myself and see. Check it out. I'm not really crazy about this this chenille. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm just not. Now that I'm seeing it tied on a jig, I'm not really crazy about this one. I believe it'll catch fish, but I usually tie it with, I don't know if I have any left over so I can show you guys. I usually tie this jig with this pattern with this white chenille. Am I missing something? There's my phone number. Okay, you sent your phone number on the email. Okay. I usually use this chenille. It's like got an iridescent greens and pinks and stuff. I usually use it with this pattern. But I saw this new age shad, bleeding shad, and I want to try it. But there's another one that he said that he had, and I might have to give it a go. But you guys look at it and tell me what you think, and then I'll show you it on the jig. And this just might not be the right pattern, and you know, I'm not a fish, so, but either way, we're doing a giveaway with it. So, I mean, it's not horrible, it's just not my favorite. What's up, briquettes? So we got 4 more of these to go, and then we'll be on to another one. Let's try to make this one super clean. The vein on some of these feathers is like really thick, thicker than I'm comfortable with tying a jig. I'll try to explain that in a minute. It's hard to get the thread to wrap around it right. Like this piece is almost, yeah, it's too much. Like you see how it's really hard to show up on this white, but the vein in this feather is, yeah, it's too much. We're gonna throw it away. Junk feather. There we go. This one's a lot thinner and wispier. It's easier to tie up against the jig head. Be interesting to do a video with tying different feathers with different vein thicknesses to see if they impact the way that the jig rides in the water, like underneath a cork, or what the fall rate is, if it changes the fall rate, if any at all. I think it'd be pretty cool anyway. At that point, you literally, if the fall rate changed, having a fatter, thicker vein in the middle of the feather, if that changed the fall rate and made it slower, you could actually use that as a tool or to your advantage at that point. I need to ask Ruben how he keeps that bobbin from squealing like that. When he strips out his thread, or when he's tying stuff off, I'm pretty sure his spool, I don't think I've ever heard it squeak. Mine's always squeaking, but I probably could put some soap on it. Big Z asked some WD-40. I think soap would actually fix the problem. Just an old bar of soap, just wipe it down right on the contact points. I've got to get me a new fly tying whip. This one is a pain in the butt. It's doable, but it's not my favorite. Looks pretty good. Okay, and I need to keep those separate. Coming up on that 90-minute mark, guys. Thank you, Big Z. I appreciate it. Rex, that not look good. If you guys haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. We are trying to grow. We're going to start doing some more jig tying videos. I'm going to try to do at least one a week. Or a rig tying video. I still got rigs that I need to make. And after the 90-minute mark, we're going to switch it up, and we're going to switch to doing that actually. And then I'll give away 5 of my catfish rigs. Now the first catfish rigs that I'm sending out, the because they're coming in a winning package, they will not be individually bagged because I don't have the bags yet. I'm waiting on them to get here in the mail. And I'll have all this stuff mailed out sometime tomorrow. I really think my catfish rigs are going to be the deal. I really do, because they're an affordable catfish rig. Like I said, at the most, I'm figuring after shipping, it's going to cost around $850 for a person to get 5 catfish rigs that are individually bagged, all in the same bag, and they've got a good swivel, a good hook, and a good leader, and all you got to do is pull them out of the package. You get 5 of them for that price, and I feel like that's a good deal. And there's 2 different sizes, and we may adjust the sizes depending on what people want. But the hooks that I'm primarily selling for the regular, everyday, average Joe that wants to go catch dinner, those hooks are, I've caught 30-pound catfish on them. And as long as you play the fish, you ain't going to straighten it out and you ain't going to lose him. It'll do everything it's supposed to do. Actually, I'd have to ask my wife. I think the fish that I caught I don't remember if it was 34 or 30. But I caught it on this rig that I'm going to show you guys. The ones that I'm trying to sell. And I catch most of the fish that I catch at my local city lake on that rig as well. And I've always got one tied up in every video pretty much all the time. Because I'll throw out a couple big baits, but I'm allowed to have 7 fishing poles here in Oklahoma. And I want something to break up the monotony too. And so I'll throw out 3 or 4 little baits. And the rig I use for that is simple. And I just keep it that way because it works. And yeah, I feel like that's a fair price, you know. I'm paying for all the supplies and all that stuff. Granted, you could do that too, but if you just want the ease and convenience of being able to pull them right out of the pack and already have a leader snelled on there and a good knot tied to the swivel, all you got to do is slip on a sinker and tie on the catfish rig. And the price doesn't change just because the hook size does. The price is going to stay the same. The price will go up if you want circle hooks though. And I think I'm going to tie up some circle hooks. Just that way the people that want them, and then they're wanting to support the channel, they have that option from me. Because I think it'd be narrow-minded to not have the circle hooks tied up too. And they're going to be Gamakatsu hooks, and so, because I want to sell people a dependable rig, and the only circle hook that I was ever partial to was the one from Whisker Seekers, which would be way too expensive for me to make a rig with and then sell it and be profitable. Probably nobody would want to buy it. And then the Gamakatsu octopus circle hooks that are the offset ones. I love Gamakatsu hooks. Love them, love them, love them. They are sharp and sticky, and they're not a thin wire hook, but they're like a medium wire hook. And I feel like that helps with the hookup ratio too. If you get too thick of a wire, and then the tip will get dull real quick after a couple fishing trips or one fishing trip or running into a rock or whatever. And then the fine wire hooks, I feel like they bend over too easy. And so the points always roll on them. And so I like a good medium gauged wire for the for catfish hooks. And I feel like the Mustad Demon Circle hooks, which is what Kayak Catfish uses, so we know that they're good hooks, because that dude puts it on them. I feel like that their best application is the way that he's using them, straight up and down, or trolling behind a boat, or and he's did videos where he casted out lines, but very, very seldom does that dude differentiate. And he even uses the J hooks on all of his striker stuff, like his catfish jigs or whatever, catfish flies. And so take it from that, take it for what it's worth. Is this the last one of these? No, it's not. We got one more, guys. One more of these, and we're going to switch up what we're doing. We'll go ahead and do 1 through 6. But give me a second before anyone comments. Got to find my Sharpie, and I got to find my piece of paper, and I got a mess over here, so give me a second. Let's back this chair up. I got a lap full of chenille. I don't know what the heck I did with that Sharpie or that piece of paper. I haven't got up. There's the paper. All right, we got the paper. We're gonna open up, we're gonna put it on the back of this white piece of paper right here. All right, we'll do 1 through 10. All right, everybody guess. You got 1 minute. So at 93:16, you'll have had to have guessed. All right, and it looks like it's Released to the Grease and Charles Sykes. We're at a tie, and so email me and I'll just, both of you guys win some jigs. How about that? That's 5 apiece. 5 of these ones. I'm not going to tie them all on video just for the sake of getting on to something else. But I will tie them up tonight. Or I might tie them up on the video. I don't know. Depends how long you guys want to keep this going. We got 1 more of these to tie for the moment. Yeah, you guys tied. I mean, we could have split hairs over it, but I'm trying to grow my channel, so I feel like it's I don't know, it's always nice to do stuff for people. I already gave away a couple fishing poles. Last year I gave one away to a kid on the dock. That made me feel pretty good. This year there was a guy, there was a son and a dad. They were fishing on the bank, and the dad was fishing with the bait caster, and the son was fishing with a piece of string and a hook, and he was throwing it out in the water, and he was trying to fish. And I waved at him from my boat, and I waved at him, and they didn't wave back, and it made me mad. Because, you know, I don't know. If someone waves at me, I wave back just to be decent. But, I mean, you don't have to do that. It's a free country. You can do whatever you want to. But it made me mad either way. But by the time I got the boat up to the bank, and I seen what that kid was doing, and I seen he was fishing with a piece of string, and so I just went and found a fishing pole on my boat, and I just walked over there and I gave it to him, and he was so freaking happy, man. And that made me feel good. And the dad's like, "You're gonna give him that for free?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's his. He can fish with you now. He has a fishing pole." And you know, I think that ended up making their day too. So that's just kind of how we like to do stuff. One day we did a live and tied up jigs. And I think there was a number that I was trying to reach, like, I think I tied like 20 jigs or something like that. I don't remember. 20 jigs or 30 jigs. And then I went to the lake, and the first person that we ran into, I just gave him the whole bag of jigs. I put them all in a Ziploc bag, and I tied different colors and different color schemes and different patterns that I use. And literally just went to the lake, and me and my daughters drove around, and we gave them to the first person we ran into, just because. Yeah, release to the grease. Man, I don't know why this kid didn't have the fishing pole, but I don't really think that they could afford to. I don't think that they could afford for another fishing pole. You know, from a distance when I was on my boat and I was waved at them, and they didn't wave back, and they were staring right at me, and it made me mad. But by the time I got up there, like I said, I saw all that going on, and yeah, kill them with kindness. And I just wanted that kid to be happy too, so there's that too. You don't got Gmail? Well, I really don't know how else to go about it. You don't have an email at all? Thank you, release to the grease. Yeah, you don't have to have a Gmail, AOL, a Yahoo, or iCloud email, or any kind of stuff like that. Will you can email to and from. All right, last one of those for the time being. Now you guys give me a second. I'm gonna turn on this light and I'm gonna run to the bathroom. And then we're gonna put away this stuff, and we're gonna get onto the rigs that I'm gonna do, and we're gonna do a giveaway on them as well. So you guys just bear with me for a second, and I'll be right back. You guys tell me if that light's annoying back there or not, because I need you guys' opinion. I want it to be lit up so that way you guys can see what we're doing properly. But I need you guys' input on that light. All right, we'll get into this. Let me get you guys down here. Nice fan blades. Well, thank you. So the brightness of the bulbs doesn't mess with you guys at all? That's funny, release to the grease. My wife's got OCD too. If that light doesn't bother you guys, then we're gonna run it. All right, let's tie some of these rigs after I put up some of this other stuff. We'll kind of sort through it. I'm really happy to have these hooks and this new chenille. We still didn't get to tie nothing with these, but we'll get onto that another time. This live's kind of getting out there. Put all these feathers up. Here's a pack of hooks that my grandpa gave me, a pack of jigs, and they're so old that the feathers have literally deteriorated, but they've been kept in good condition, like they've been kept in the garage, but the feathers are just so old that they just fell off, and so now they're just like that. But the jig heads are still good, so we'll retie them into something someday in the future, just not right now. Get that out of the way. And you guys, everybody that won jigs, and Dalton, you guys let me know what you guys think about the jig heads and stuff like that. And I like a fine wire crappie hook. The only one that's not really a fine wire is this one with the gold head. So this hook, it will straighten out, but not unless you have like 10-pound test. But these on this this style of hook with the fine wire hooks, I've got them to straighten out with 4-pound test line, and so, but 4-pound test vicious, and it does make a difference. There's 4-pound test, and then there's 4-pound test vicious, and 4-pound test vicious line is, might as well just call it 8-pound test with 4-pound test diameter. That stuff is strong. All right, let's get this box on these feathers. I've got so many other feathers too, guys. There's just so much stuff that I haven't got to cover yet. Look at these feathers. That'd tie a pretty cool jig, wouldn't it? Got a lot going on in there. That's what our feather stash looks like. It's just full of feathers. There's colors in there that I've never even tied with. All right, on to the catfish stuff. I don't know if I have one of the bigger hooks in here. We'll tie up 5 of them real quick. Here's also a catfish bobber if any of you guys need ideas for catfish bobbers. We have Atwoods here. And I get these big pool noodles from Walmart. I get 2-part epoxy from Harbor Freight. And then I 2-part epoxy this slip cork. They're like $1 a piece at Atwoods, which is like a home and ranch store or a farm and ranch store. 2-part epoxy them in there. Now you got a giant slip cork for catfish. So for these basic catfish rigs, we're going to use a 30-pound test leader, a 2-aught hook, if I can find a pack of swivels, there we go, and a size 7 swivel. I'll show you how we're going to go about this. This is literally how I measure every catfish rig that I make. I grab the line, I pull out my arm all the way out straight as I can go, and take it to the center of my chest. And so every one of these will be uniform, because that's literally how I tie every single one of them that I run on my boat, or from the bank or wherever I run them from. Yeah, and that works just fine. This is for, I use this on my fishing pole, and it keeps big bluegill and big bass from pulling the bobber under that I'm using for bait. You can throw a white bass under that. You can throw anything you want to under that, and it ain't gonna pull it under. You can throw some good baits under it. So we're just gonna take this hook. This is a bait holder style hook. We're gonna go right in the front, straight down. And I go with 7 wraps. Then go back out go in the back of the eye. Cinch it down. Cut the tag end a little bit shorter. There's only like a 1/2 inch of waste there anyway, and then I just split that in half. So there's about 1/4 inch of line sticking out. So it's a real clean presentation there. If I can get it to show up right. Real clean presentation. And when a fish pulls on it, when it goes in their mouth, it's got the trigger effect, of course, and it'll get you. And so we're gonna have 5 of these in a pack. The ones that we're doing in the giveaway, they're all just gonna be in an envelope, because I don't have the little bags yet, but I do have them ordered. Nothing is finalized yet, but 5 of these are gonna come in a bag. And my price is $7. I'm just imagining after the mail. Yeah, that's a good bobber. But 5 of these rigs for $7. That's what I'm making off of them. Plus the shipping, or to mail them, I imagine is going to be another $1 to $1.50. So the total cost to the customer will be probably $8 to $8.50 for 5 catfish rigs. And maybe I'll get a cup of water instead of spitting on everybody's, because we wet our line or whatever. You guys are fishermen, you know that. Maybe I'll get a cup of water to dip them in. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's the rig. There's the hook. There's the swivel. Then I'm going to take it. I'm going to put it on my finger, wrap it up like this. And then I'm going to put this in its own bag. And then I'm going to put 5 of those bags in the bag to be shipped out or whatever. But like I said, whoever wins today, you might have to untangle them, but it's thick enough line that it's doable. And it won't be that big of a headache. And then you'll have your 5 catfish rigs for winning. I need to sit down and tie up some jigs like this to put in my own box. Yeah, I could do a video over these. They work really good. I've caught a lot of fish on these, especially if you're camping somewhere and you're fishing overnight and you don't know if you're going to be there to set the hook. You set this up, and then it's literally like a jug line, and so it'll set the hook, and you can make the float part longer or shorter. And then the cool part about it is you can stick you can buy glow sticks. Those ones you break them, those little skinny ones for like bracelets and stuff like that. You can break them, and then you can stab them into the styrofoam, and you can watch them at nighttime. I'm telling you, they'll change the way you catfish at nighttime. especially if you see a giant bobber with a glow stick on it go underwater, you're in for a good time and you know it. In for a good time. I like going down below the dam in the summertime and drifting big bluegill right at sundown. Love it. We need to do a knot strength video. I have a knot that I've never seen tested. But I've literally been using it since I was a kid. And I'll try and demonstrate it real quick. I might have to grab some thicker fishing line to where you guys can see it better. And I'm thinking to shut off the backlight. It'll show up better. Yeah, you guys can see that line pretty good. Let's see what happens if I shut off this light. Does it show up better? No, it shows up worse. Let's try it without that backlight. I don't know, you guys tell me if it shows up better or worse. Anyway, we're gonna take a short piece of it. We really need a bigger swivel or a bigger hook. We're gonna use this sinker for demonstration purposes. So what you do is you go right through the eye of your hook, or this weight. You take your finger and you let it go over your finger like that. You see how it's going over my finger? And then I've got, this would be going back to your fishing pole. And so essentially put it through the eye, take it like that. You should have both strands of line coming over your finger. Make sure you got plenty of tag end. And then what you're gonna do, not with this thick of line, we're only gonna do like 5 wraps, but with thinner line, I always do like 7 wraps. But you take these fingers, keep your index finger hooked into underneath both of the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do 6. And then, so you got that hanging there. And this feels like I'm using weed eater line to try to do this with, so it's kind of weird. And we're gonna push that through there. That should be clear as mud now. And I've been using this hook since I was a little kid. And it looks really clean and presentable, but what it looks like, it's pretty much like you just snailed. It looks exactly the same as this, but imagine the fishing line is the shank of the hook. Like you snailed the line around the line, if that makes sense. So the line is literally hugging the line and squeezing it. But I guess that's what a knot is. But anyway. And that's 100-pound test line. And that'll be for something else, completely different. Not exactly for sale. All right, we got 3 of them made up. I can really just burn through these pretty quick, guys. I've been BSing and talking, so. But this is my day in and day out rig. And so I can get through it pretty quick. Cinch it down a little bit. There's a guy that says to cinch them to yield. But I literally cut my fingers on fishing line so many times trying to cinch stuff till it yields. I don't like doing that. I just pull it till it's tight. Like when I see this, there's a line that runs parallel to the hook shank. You can see that little line stub down there. Now watch when I pull on it. When it kicks out to the side like that, that's when it's tight enough. And then when it relaxes, it goes back straight. But you can see no matter how hard I pull, it ain't slipping. It just hugs it tighter and makes it poke out to the side. So we know that ain't going nowhere. That's good snail right there. Caught plenty of big catfish on that hook right there. That's good for worms. That's good for if you want to use chunks of chicken. It's good for if you want to use shad, small bluegill. The swivel is rated for 100 pounds, so it's entirely too big for this entire operation, but it will get the job done. And then the leader is 30-pound test leader. If a bunch of people want 40-pound test leaders, then we'll do that, or 50-pound test leaders. But for most people fishing, that's plenty of leaders. And literally all you have to do is add a sinker to your fishing line and then tie it on here and you're ready to go catfishing. You got your Carolina rig ready to go, or you can add a peg float to it and you got a Santee Cooper rig. And I carry a bunch of peg floats with me. Matter of fact, this box is all full of fishing stuff. I found these on clearance at Walmart, so I bought 2 packs of them because they work good. And they were half price, so how could I not? I got these hooks because I want to get into some carp fishing and they're smaller. I actually got these sinkers because I want to get into carp fishing, smaller sinkers. But we got peg floats, more peg floats, more peg floats, more peg floats, and more peg floats. But we could have a quick discussion about these peg floats. I only have one more of those leaders to tie up before we do the giveaway. And so I want to just take some time and go on ahead and talk about this because this will save you guys a bunch of money. I get 2 different sizes of these peg floats. I get the, what I believe, a 3-inch and a 2.5-inch peg float. They're the only floats you need. The only floats. They're cheap. You get 3 of them for 97 cents each. What I like about them, when I'm fishing with a 1/80th of an ounce or 1/84th of an ounce jig head, and I want to use it underneath the float, you don't need that much of a float. And I don't want a sinker on there. And so I'll literally take one of these floats and then I'll measure up to about 3/4 of an inch, and then I'll take a bait knife and I'll score it or cut into it all the way around it, and then just snap it off. Now I have this. And if I'm fishing, a pond or a creek and I want to change my depth, I just pull this out. If I want to fish with these jigs and I want to fish with the slip cork, well, guess what? it has a hole in it, and so you can fish it like this is a slip cork. And so really these are the only bobbers that you really have to have, you really need. And then again, the other thing about them that's great is if you go buy those Demon Dragons and those other floats and the EVA foam floats and stuff like that, they're expensive, guys. If you want a Santee Cooper rig, check it out. Stick the peg back in there. Stick the peg on the other side. Now guess what? Now your bait is suspended off the bottom. This is 2.5 foot of line, and so your bait is 2 foot up off the bottom, suspended above the mud line. And in small lakes and small reservoirs and coves that don't really get a lot of flow, suspending your bait up off the bottom is a pretty big thing, because I don't know if you've ever swam in a lot of lakes and ponds and stuff, but there's a silt layer on the bottom. And so as catfish, a lot of times they're not actively feeding through the silt. And so if you got a peg float and you can get above that, which the silt is usually about 8 to 10 inches deep, and you can get your bait above where the silt is sitting. And I don't really know how to explain the silt properly, but it's not compressed. It's not like mud. It's just like where everything, like imagine a coffee pot that the coffee filter busted on, and all the grains are along the bottom, and there's just a bunch of loose debris, and it's not mud because it won't stick to you, but it's down there, and it's just like, I don't really know how to explain it. It's just like all the gunk that sinks to the bottom and is not dirt. Fish slime, fish poop, stuff like that. Anyway, if you can get above that scum line, then oftentimes that'll put you on more fish. And so this float is extremely versatile, and you only need 2 sizes. Then if you want to fish like a regular slip cork with a with a catfish rig, they're all slip corks. You can run them all like slip corks or like a fixed cork. And so I hope that saves somebody some money, because that's the, I used to buy Thill and all the other different bobbers, and then one day I started using these, and I realized that it's a slip cork, a fixed bobber, or a Santee Cooper rig, and you don't need any other bobbers. You just plain and simple, you don't. They sell them in different shapes too. You can get some that are like egg shaped, and they're cheap as well. I hope that somebody's finding this information useful. Probably everybody out there that makes floats that hates me for telling all 9 of you guys watching about that, but yeah, that's hopefully they don't ever go up in price. They're this brand, the Comb All Tackle, and you can even get them cheaper if you order them on eBay. You can get big bags of them, and yeah, they're even cheaper that way. And so if I start selling Santee Cooper rigs, or people start wanting them with the float already on them, or they can run a slip rig, a slip cork rig, or they can run a Santee Cooper rig, then that's how I'll order them. I'll just order them in great big bags off of eBay, so that way I'll get them at a discount for ordering in bulk. All right, guys. Guess let me write down a number. 4 is already on here. We're gonna put an X over it because that was on the last giveaway. We got 12 on here. Everybody, guess the number 1 through 12. Now with this catfish rig, what I will say is if a catfish is over 10 pounds, don't just grab your leader and try to yank him up. 5 pounds, 7 pounds, just grab the leader. If he's hooked good and you can pick that catfish straight up, just grab the leader and pick him up. I do it all the time, and if you guys watch my videos, you see me do it all the time. And we're going to wait until 127, and then we're going to sign out, guys. And so if that's the deal, Burkett's Outdoor Fishing and Hunting, you're really close. But if nobody else guesses by 27, then you need to write down my email address. It's pinned at the bottom by Dalton Odom. No, absolutely not. Dalton Odom, if you're there, can you block Bella Edits? I'd really appreciate it. Let me see if I can figure out how to do it. Damn you. Yeah, I figured it out, release to the grease. I'm happily married and I have kids and stuff, and I don't have time for no shenanigans on here. We're strictly about fishing. We can talk about anything about fishing or anything like that, but I love my wife, I love my life, and I love my family and my kids, so I don't have no time for no shenanigans. 27's up, and the number was 5, and so Burkett's Outdoor Fishing and Hunting, you still won. You guys email me. I'll get back with you guys later tonight. I want to go hit a shower and get something to eat, and I'll get all this stuff out in the mail tomorrow. And so within the next 3 or 4 days, maybe 5 days, depending on where you're at in the country, it'll all be there to you guys. I appreciate you guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you next time.